thing that I wanted to bring up with you guys is yesterday's little post by Twitch, and I kind of want to go over it with you all. It has to do with the whole entire viewbotting situation and pretty much what's going on. Pretty much in this post, it talks about how Twitch is going to deal with the viewbotting problem. But I responded to it by saying, there's a reason why my numbers look better on Kick, Dan. You have abused Twitch to where the world sees it as corn instead of gaming. Viewbotting is just one of the several issues. Your lead streamer is an example of your failure, along with his orbit. That is all on you, bro. Normal people see two things from your company: a webcam corn service and Hasan shocking his dog. That's what normal people see. I know I've actually talked to people who don't view this job as a job opportunity. Normal people, those two things are what Twitch is known for. I said this, and then, my community kind of lit up about it moderately. And I got 2K views worth of it, which for how big I am, that's actually not that bad with 85 likes on it. But this actually spawned something because my pops is one of the people that actually liked the tweet. Hell yeah. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Hey, also, thank you for that art, by the way, which I'm going to show off here in a second after I get done talking about this.
Hi, how are you?
What up, 2K? So, this kind of spawned a phone call from my dad yesterday. And my dad is, he's a business owner. He does a lot of work with Kentucky thoroughbred farms in Kentucky. And actually does some work for the Triple Crown, which recently... so March through about July is his like hot period on his business. So he's pretty busy right now. He also follows Eric Daughtry, whom I don't follow. I don't really follow a lot of IRL, debaters or political commentators other than Asmund. But him and I had a phone call, and this whole entire tweet right here that I posted, guys, is coming from that phone call. This is why at Twitch viewbotting doesn't matter to both content creators and our audience. His face is plastered next to Fox News on a daily basis. My own dad sent me this. It's why normal people hate your platform. Him. It was not my audience that gave me the advice to start Kick. It was my parents. It was an hour-long phone call with a guy who runs his own business telling me he is a bad play. He is not one to be the leader of a platform. And it all has to do with what he said over the whole entire switch in Virginia. So if you guys don't know, Virginia just went through a whole entire reconstruction of its Senate seats and congressional hearing seats. That happened. I did some research into this yesterday. Also, you should probably update to just chatting. Oh, that wasn't there? Oh, shit. I thought I did that. Guess not. Anyway. So, my dad, he DM'd me this post from Eric Daughtry, and it got me into actually doing some investigating. So what we'll watch this clip on what Fox News says about it. But the first thing that this was actually, guys, on Fox News, which is why my pops knows about it. My pops is not connected to any streamer knowledge whatsoever. What up, Sneaky Hermit? He's not in, he's not deeply connected into streaming and any of that. So he's outside the box. Now, the reason why my dad called me, he was like, hey, Dave or Cody, I think that you have to think about streaming as a business now. And if you continue on Twitch as your main platform, it's not going to last. And I was like, Pop, you're calling me out of the blue about this. I know that you have your own business. Why are you telling me this at 4:30 in the morning yesterday? And he was like, I sent you something in DMs. You need to go look at it. And you need to think about it from a business perspective, not a social media perspective. And I was like, okay. So I did the investigating into it. It turns out that Virginia literally flipped 3/4 of its state to the red. And it apparently pissed off Hasan Piker enough to where Hasan made a post on it on X, which my dad also found. And he was like, I know that I looked into Twitch, and Twitch just put something on Twitter about viewbotting, but viewbotting is not their biggest problem. Why are they addressing this problem instead of other problems? Replace the ones one, right? And that's where it comes down to, Sneaky. He pretty much said that the faces of Twitch are the reason why Twitch is smoldering in ruins right now. Thank you, Rustic. Thank you for your follow, man. It has to do with every part of the head echelons up there with Twitch. It has absolute he pretty much said from a business owner's perspective, viewbotting is like the 4th or 5th problem that is wrong with this company after he looked at the numbers for it. And he was like, the only reason that I know what Twitch is because this guy's face keeps on getting plastered on Fox News, disturbing my day. When I go and I look at the stock reports on, like, you know, Fox News, because I'm a business owner, that's what I do. I'm here. My ear hurts so effing bad, but I'm here. Moo. If you need to get out, get out. And he pretty much told me that viewbotting is not Twitch's biggest problem. It is this guy. Because he's taking future customer bases away from Twitch. This guy showing up on Fox News is a very, very bad thing for streaming. And I agreed with him, and I was like, well, what do you know about Hasan? And he's like, well, I know that he shocked his dog, and that showed up on Fox News. Fox and Friends did a bit on him. The Five did a bit on him shocking his dog. He's all over my daily news coverage for the last, 2-3 months, and me and your mom are tired of seeing him. And I was like, well, why are you tired of seeing him? And they pretty much went in the direction of his little social media platform should not be on my daily news. I should not know about this guy if he is a streamer. And I should not know what he's doing in his personal life. What up, Faye? And I was like, well, why? And he's like, because all of the things that he's done are immoral. I know about his 9/11 take now. I know about him shocking his dog. I know about him pulling his dog's tail. I know about him doing a whole bunch of evil shit that normal people just look in disdain at him about. And I was like, well, why are you telling me that Twitch can't be my primary platform, Pops? And he's like, because by what I know of Twitch after investigating into it, he's basically the lead face of this company. It's not like the people that you have around you. And I was like, oh, and who do you think I have around me? And he's like, well, I noticed that you've been putting a lot of this chick named Kirsha or whatever. She's apparently a VTuber like you are. And I was like, that's Kirsha, Dad. She's one of the best political streamers in VTubing. And he was like, well, those faces need to be the face of Twitch, not this guy. And I was like, why do you say that? Because I don't know who Kirsha is. She doesn't do any heinous, evil things on the internet that bring, a negative look onto Twitch as a company. What you're doing is you're taking future customer bases away from your company, and Twitch is nothing more than an entertainment business that relies on future customers. And the moment that you take that customer service away, or future potential customers, this business dies. And I was kind of taken aback by that, and I was like, Pops, what do you want me to do? And he was like, I've been telling you for the last 8 months, bro, you gotta put that kick page of yours up there, man. Twitch is gonna die in the next 2 years if Hasan keeps on showing up on major news. And I was like, what do you want me to do to change that, Pop? What do you want me to do about that? He was like, well, one, as a content creator for the actual platform, you got to do more to get this guy off of your front page. People like me and your mom shouldn't know who this guy is. Your sister shouldn't know who this guy is. And I was like, you're telling me that my sisters know who Hasan Piker is? And my dad was like, yeah, Lily. Lily knows who this is because she watches VTubers too. And she's told me everything. She's the one I went to get all this information on this guy. He's a turd. He's a turd of a human being. Why is he the representation of Twitch? And trying to explain this to a normal person, guys, is the most awkward thing in the world. And I was like, Dad, I can't, there's not anything that anybody can do to get rid of him. And he was like, why? Why does everybody at Twitch have a hard-on for this guy? I simply said, I don't know. Not just Hasan, Vexmilth, Morkpie, and the whole Diaper Furry Blue Sky Blishn crew. Jesus, Faye. I said that there's a lot of evildoers right now on Twitch, Dad, and they outnumber all of us. There's not really a whole lot that we can do to get rid of people like Hasan. His orbit is too big. And he's like, what the frick is an orbit? And I was like, Pop, they're co-workers. They're basically co-workers to him. And I have to explain this, guys, in like terms that he understands. And he was like, well, what? So so what you're telling me is that there's no way to stop him because what? The CEO or the CFO of Twitch likes Hasan too much? And I was like, Dad, they literally, the head office of Twitch sang this man happy birthday 2 years ago and live streamed it and forced the clip down the internet's throat. And my dad was like, well, that's fucking bullshit. He's completely misinterpreting a fucking JFK post, and it's being listed on my news network. Why? I was like, I don't have any control of that, Pop. That's what Fox News decided to put on their news network. I'm sorry he disturbed your day. And he retorted with, well, I'm tired of him disturbing my day. This is like the 6th time in the last, 4 months. Get this guy off of news networks. And he kind of went into the whole entire thing that I got to start promoting my Kick page more because my dad believes from a business perspective, Twitch is going to die in the next 2 to 3 years. To put it in space terms, Hasan is a phoenix. And everything else are various stars it hasn't yet fed on. His goons, the old term. Yeah, I know. But you got to remember, guys, I got to explain it to a 54-year-old businessman that's been dealing with, hardcore Kentucky business people, okay, for the last, 35 years of his life. And it's not an easy feat by any means of the imagination. I just wanted to talk about this, though. Probably make it into a YouTube video, see where it goes. You guys actually gave me a lot of responses on this. Nexus came up with a very good point, and he put this down here. Twitch won't tolerate terrorism, violence, threats, essay, explicit content, and animal abuse. These TOS are applied to every streamer. Violating them will lead to bans. And then it says money and gooning material, and Hasan, Morgpie, that stupid essay on men chick, I can't even remember her name. They didn't violate TOS because they don't use viewbots. Makes corn content on Twitch. So I thought that was really, really funny by Nexus. He made a very, very good point. A thing that my dad also brought up was this here, which is why I mentioned it in this comment. Your hint at JP Morgan is what my dad went on about. If a major credit bank doesn't want you, then you need to rethink your strat. Money for a business is money. 2 things you do in business. 1, take care of your employees with your profits. In Twitch's case, it's us. 2, use the profits to improve the business in a technological capacity, which actually takes care of the content creators in the long run. You can literally flip the business if you change those two things. That is a quote from my dad, by the way, Chad. My dad said that verbatim. I bet he has to deal with people who do the Kentucky Derby. Yes, he does, Quantum. My dad does work with the Triple Crown, actually, a lot. Not just the Kentucky Derby. He deals with all 3 races. I would assume that's a big deal to handle with, to be honest. Your dad, IMO, shouldn't worry about Hasan, his gang goods at Twitch personally. Well, he has to worry about it because he knows right now, with all that's going on with me, is that Twitch is my primary way of an income right now. Your dad seems awesome. My dad is awesome. My adopted dad is awesome. He's amazing. He gives me good advice, like a lot. And the whole entire reason why I smartened up with this last week and all that we've gone through as a community is because of him and talking to Moo and getting together with the people that were actually wronged in this situation and all of that. And he basically told me when it came to all the stuff that we were going through as a community is that I've got to take it on the noggin and I have to acknowledge that I fucked up. And that this whole entire thing with she who shall not be named is going to affect me in the long term, and I can't let it do that. And I let it affect me because, honestly, guys, when it comes down to that, I'm terrified. I'm terrified because I'm getting rejected from jobs that I should not be getting rejected from. Like another thing, after I did my workout this morning, like 2 hours ago, I checked my emails. 7-Eleven rejected my application, saying that it was a better business decision on my actual work record. They actually had the balls and stones to tell me that. I wanted to apply to a company named Securitas, and they told me that I was a security risk. So that was a no-go. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's scary stuff, especially how easy it is to ruin someone's life. I thank you, God, for you guys. If I didn't have you guys, I'd be self-employed dividends investor. Yeah, that 7-Eleven deal was a Texas-sized mistake. Pfft. Quantum, I'm reaching at straws right now, dude. I'm at 17 job applications rejected. My husband worked for Securitas. Well, they just rejected me because of all this crap. So, I just wanted to talk about this, guys, because I might be taking my dad's advice, and I might be going as Twitch or Kick as my primary. My dad pretty much told me that he was going to check in after the third quarter of the stock market and see where Twitch is as an investment. Cody, do you have a truck? I can't put gas in it right now. And yes, I know what you're about to tell me, Red, and that's a no-go. I don't make enough money per month to put gas in my truck here in Utah. It costs me $450 a week to fill up my truck. I already know what you're going to say. You're going to make the same suggestion Greeny did, and the math is not there. Life ruination at its finest. Rumble might be a good use as well. I've looked into Rumble. Rumble more operates like YouTube, and yeah. If Rumble were bigger, then yes. But my pops... Oh! Thank you for the subby at 3 months. Oh, a tier 3! Holy shit! Lumi! Thank you. To pin what happened to you, that is. Oh, I know, Zolo. I know. How do you know if you have enough to pin this on? Okay, so the problem right now is not X. Actually, X returned calls to my lawyers faster than the company that fired me. The company that fired me right now is the big problem, guys. I work for a multi-billion-dollar fuel company, and they're giving my lawyers all of the pain that you could possibly imagine right now. Rumble is switching to being a financial clone of YouTube. So what you're saying is You know what? I will talk to my dad about the numbers on Rumble. Chat. I will do that. I wonder if X will finally improve their streaming feature. My dad told me that X is more of a billboard than a actual service. That's what my dad told me, pretty much. But I will talk with my dad about that, because right now, when it comes to this being a business, guys, I talk to my dad about it more than anything. And my family already knows exactly what happened after my sister had her little thing. So, yeah. What I mean is they want to switch to the same payout program that YouTube uses. That might hurt them because nobody likes the payout service that YouTube has. The only people that like the payout service that YouTube has are the guys who make millions of dollars a month in ad revenue off of YouTube. But that is where my dad's at with Twitch right now. My dad is seeing too much of Hasan and not enough of anybody else, and all of the negativity that revolves around this guy. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna watch the clip. We're gonna watch the clip and go through it together.
The following: we respect the decision of the Supreme Court of Virginia. I'm proud Virginia's came out in historic numbers.
Basically, he's talking about the flip. And he's talking about how Virginia flipped, and Hasan, being in his great wisdom, the VA Supreme Court denied the result of the redistricting referendum, which means that all of the seats got switched based on population. Because Hasan doesn't understand how a democratic republic works. So what it means is that basically a lot of people that are red are flipping votes based on population, and he doesn't get how the math works. SCOTUS gutting the Voting Rights Act, and Tennessee carving up the last Dem district, destroying black voter power in the state. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. He's literally quoting John F. Kennedy in one of the most vile ways humanly possible, because he is seeing that Virginia is changing to a red state rapidly. It used to be that Virginia was 2/3 blue. Now, with the current and how it's going, it's sitting at 2/3 in red. And that's after everybody cut everything up. Which means that there's more people in Virginia that want to vote red than blue. And Hasan has a problem with this.
It made their voices heard and sent a message not just here at home but across the country to Donald Trump and his administration. That's the reaction from the Democrats. The problem
How'd they
is,
get that?
Yeah, for Democrats,
how'd they get that out of
they've been shut out of the program here because they thought they were going to pick up several seats. Republicans are saying the Supreme Court today affirms what we all know: you cannot violate the Constitution to change the Constitution, which was what Shannon Bream was describing.
Yes, he is mad. He is mad because he does not understand the way that people vote in America. He does not understand that we are a democratic republic instead of what he wants, which is mob rule. He does not understand that. So Virginia took the whole entire Supreme Court ruling, and it got thrown out because the Supreme Court saw that 2/3 of Virginia is voting red. And that's not for the presidential election, guys. That's for the Senate and House. And that pissed him off. I'm going to quote JFK like a retard. God. If I were JFK, I'd be turning at my grave that somebody like him quoted me. If I were JFK. It's just extremely stupid that this guy is doing this, and he thinks that he is a head honcho, but the case in reality is, guys, is that normal people don't want to see him. They don't want to see him being a part of anything that has to do with voting, anything. Especially after the fact that normal people have seen him abuse an animal, say that 9/11 is that we deserved it. The whole entire thing about smearing, blood everywhere, that little one, and I can't say it in full quotes because I'm on Twitch right now. Alabama is getting rid of the Democratic blue districts through special elections that they had voting session. While being hit by a bad tornado storm this past week, JFK is cussing up a storm from beyond the grave at this point. Yeah, JFK knowing that one of the ally-born babies of 9/11 terrorists would one day quote him, be like, yeah, I know, Lumi. But those three situations alone make normal people hate Twitch. Normal non-viewers don't want to see him, but it's nice that they are, so they can see the worst of the worst. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that opinion, but like my dad said, it's taking your future customer base away from you the more that he fucks up in the public eye. That means that less people will watch Twitch in the future, which is why my dad's predicting that this company's going to die in the next 2 years, and the big reason is going to be because Hasan Piker's face is affiliated with it. Now, I'm saying this allegedly, and I'm not making any promises, and I'm not going to hold it to that, but my dad has never seen or done anything in business that has to do with, him being absolutely 100% wrong. I mean, all the major VTubers out there and all of the major political streamers have been saying it for years that this guy and his orbit are bad. And it's now hitting mainstream. More news outlets are talking about this guy, and it's putting a negative light on all of us. It really is. My dad wants me to get as far hell away from Twitch as humanly possible at this point. Because of actually what Quantum just said. It's a socialist network. That is what my dad told me yesterday morning. Twitch is a socialist network that he does not want on his normal paid programming when he is watching Fox News. He absolutely hates this guy. Doesn't want to see him on the news. I think actually it's going to get to the point where my dad's going to call in to complain to Fox News about how they're reporting on him so much. Like, I would not blame them. That is true, but like you said before, the media, they made him the face of Twitch and gets away with TOS at every turn. Yeah, Rustic. And you got to understand, it's hard to explain it to normal people, this whole entire social media sphere. Normal people don't get it because what does my dad do for a living? My dad takes things like saddles, jock outfits, firefighter gear, police gear, and he literally fixes them and cleans them. That is the whole entire point of his business. I want to run a socialist network, everyone. You mean a social network? No, Lumi. If normal people know that Twitch is turning into a socialist playground, then that is bad. And I don't think that Dan understands how bad that impact is. Nice Star Wars Episode 2 meme. And it kind of made me pivot yesterday after I got off the phone with him. And I was like, well, look at what me and my community are going through right now. Literally, I have to deal with all of the crap around she who shall not be named. I hate the fact that I have to talk to her like fucking Lord Voldemort. That really upsets me, actually. But it's normal people are looking at this as it's a media website that is literally a socialist network. That is what my dad calls Twitch. My dad does not call Twitch a gaming platform anymore. My dad refuses to spend his money on this company, even if I am a part of it. which is why you don't see my dad doing this anymore. My dad doesn't subscribe to me. He doesn't give me followers, and it's all because of this guy. It's all because of Hasan and his orbit being plastered everywhere. The whole entire New York Times article about the thieving and how it's okay to steal, that made major news because it was in the New York Times. You didn't think that my dad found that? He's a negative representation, and Dan doesn't get that. Dan doesn't get that him and his whole entire orbit are a kick in the nuts to everybody else on the lower end of this streaming platform. He's making all of us look bad, if VTubers included. Hasn't been a gaming platform in way too long now. Yeah, that's true, DK. And it kind of saddens me. Because if you're at that point where you're taking, like, nerd gamers like my dad and putting him in a position where he doesn't want to spend money on his own kid that's a part of the platform, then you've got to wake up and realize, dude, that you got bigger problems than just viewbotting, man. Viewbotting is not the biggest issue that you have. Not by far. Nope. Amazon needs to get rid of Dan Clancy. That's the first thing. My dad told me if you're going to... Because my dad, he may not be in a business that makes, the $1 million range, but he does make six figures. High six figures. More toward $1 million. And he told me if the first thing that you want to do, if you're this company right now, the first thing you want to do is you want to get rid of Dan Clancy. Put somebody in there that knows how to run a business effectively. And then after that, you have to put a promising face that's not going to end up on the daily news for normal people so that they're not shying away from your platform. 3 things. My dad said that those are the 3 things that need to change if Twitch wants to be better. Viewbotting, dude? Viewbotting isn't even in your top 3 problems. He said that that needs to get fixed afterward. You've got a PR problem right now. Amazon has been dismissing taking any action after so many complaints. Yes. Another thing that my dad pointed out too. And replace the weirdos in the moderation team. I did not go into detail with that with my dad, but I am pretty sure with how foul he feels toward me being on Twitch right now as his kid, I'm pretty sure he would agree with that statement. Call her pork teeth. Wow. Oops, I spelled better wrong. We're talking about socialism. Oh my God, Faye. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that because it was a hour-long conversation that I had with my dad, and my dad is telling me to get away from this platform as soon as humanly possible. Jeff Bezos more concerned with jerking off both his big rocket and his smaller, more minuscule rocket. Yes, Lumi. Clancy isn't the only guy that he needs to replace. The YouTube CEO is going down a bad path as well. Well, the reason why YouTube doesn't hit my dad as much, it's because my dad is one of those lurkers that sits in my Twitch chat and watches me, or he watches my VODs if he's too busy at his job. So he pays attention to me on Twitch, and I'm the only thing that connects him to Twitch right now. That's why he doesn't know about YouTube all that much. He watches YouTube videos, absolutely, but he doesn't know the interconnecting on how all that comes together, Rustic. Hi, Warbear. I will get him on stream as soon as things cool off with She Who Shall Not Be Named chat. He really, 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 really wants to be on here with you guys. So does Lily, actually. Anyway, probably going to post this as a YouTube video, so say hi to YouTube chat real quick before we get done talking. Hey, Trespass, what's up, buddy? And I really hope, Cody's dad, if you're here, you done good. I really hope that Twitch can change the situation that they have going on. I really, really do. I really, really think that they need to start putting... I think that they need to start putting more into a face that's going to make us all look good to the general public, because the general public doesn't like us right now as Twitch streamers. Not with him at the helm. Twitch could be amazing. That's true. It could be. But it won't be. It won't be with him. Hell no, it won't be with him.